Hi, this is Sive Morten with the daily update on EURUSD. I post my exclusive market overviews with the key political and economical events, charts and important levels on the ForexPeaceArmy.com forums weekly. This short video is a response to rapidly changing situation on the currency markets and should help you to stay on top of the game and be profitable. I suggest you to visit the ForexPeaceArmy.com forum and read my analysis for the week before watching this daily video. Hello everybody, welcome to the daily Forex technical analysis from the ForexPeaceArmy.com. Today we will finally return back to the euro currency. Well, because situation now has some new moments that could be taken into consideration. So let's start from the daily time frame. First of all, daily trend is clearly bearish right here, then based on the MACD indicator. Well, this is our butterfly buy pattern that we have discussed during the previous week. So this is the left wing, right wing, and market accelerates to the downside. The target of this butterfly is 127 expansions around 128.22. This market hasn't quite reached it yet. The next extended target of this butterfly 1618 expansion 126.39, but it's a bit early to talk about this target because beyond the daily oversold area, and I think that more actual currently is this area that in fact could be reached during current week. Well, what we have also on this chart, look at this pattern A, B, C top. Market has accelerated, totally disrespected 618 expansion target. I'm even not have it on this expansion targets, and accelerates from the 100% expansion to 127 expansion. This is really strong move to the downside. You can see that CD leg is much faster than AB. And in these circumstances, very often you can see that market in these scenarios very often reached 1618 target. It's around 127.14. Okay, but after some retracement, after some bouncing to the upside. Also take a look that market has reached daily level of oversold. This is blue line, this lower border of the Jordan-Napoli oscillator predictor shows us levels of oversold and overbought right here. Now market just respected this area of oversold. Well, also 129.60 area roughly, 129.80, it's right here, is weekly Fibonacci support area. So its previous lows, weekly Fibonacci support, it had been tested, by the way, right here. Okay, so this in fact the combination of the Fibonacci support area and daily oversold leads to the stretch pattern, Jordan-Napoli stretch pattern, that in fact should lead for some bouncing from this level of oversold on the market. But where market could bounce? First of all, take a look at this blue line, dash line. This is the weekly pivot point. It's around 130.87, and it hasn't been tested yet during the current week by the market. As I said million of times, weekly pivot points are traded by the market usually in the 70% of cases. So this a great probability suggests that market could in fact return to this area. Also take a look that this is the previous lows. Let's take a look at the 4-hour chart to see some additional details on the market. Also you can see that this level of weekly pivot point, also the Fibonacci resistance 130.84 from the whole swing to the downside. Just above the market 132.17 is next area of resistance, 618 resistance. Also, by the way, this is daily confluence resistance. I do not have the 3.8 Fib resistance area, but in fact this is not just a single Fibonacci resistance, this is daily confluence resistance. So it's in fact very strong area of resistance. And the major scenario currently that market should show bouncing at least to this area, at least to 130.80-31 area of resistance. This is what I personally expect to see during the current trading week, because market hasn't touched weekly pivot point. The probability suggests that it should to do this with the probability around 70%. Also, it's just a normal price action when the market has achieved some targets. Fibonacci expansions can show some retracement, 33.8 retracements from this whole swing. It's not very great retracement. Also, we can see that market is oversold on the daily time frame, and market at stands at weekly fib support. So in fact, this is not the time to establish any short positions currently, because market really has the probability to suggest that it could bounce to the upside. Also, take a look at this swing to the downside. This is excellent example of thrust. Green line is the 3x3 moving average. Okay, so market has closed above it and hasn't quite reached the strong area, the significant resistance, Fibonacci resistance level. Now, what we can expect? Market can close below the green line and then above again. This will be for our double repo buy. In fact, this is one of the possible scenarios to the upside. Market can probably show us some A, B, C bottom pattern that will show agreement with this, for example, area. But in fact, personally, I will be closely look at this possible double repo buy on the 4-hour chart, and the nearest target of the possible bouncing at least this area of resistance, Fibonacci resistance and weekly pivot point. If market will show some sell signals in this area, will show some signs of weakness and to the continuation of the move to the downside, well, then possibly this area could be used for the placing the stop order, because this is really strong area of resistance, daily confluence resistance. Market can accelerate from this area to the downside. Well, in fact, I suggest that it should happen because the sell-off on the daily time frame was really strong. Well, that's what I personally look for on coming days, today or maybe tomorrow, and expect some bouncing on the euro.